Was poppin'. Welcome to Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to episode 113. Yes, sir or ma'am. This episode, we're going to have, of course, the infamous What's Poppin' section where we're going to be talking about the latest social media and business style, vibes, that whole nine. We're going to break down the creator economy blueprint. And then what happens when people steal your ideas? Moose, how we feel about this episode?
Man, it's a holiday special. I'm excited to talk about our new sponsors on this episode. So y'all stay tuned. We got 2 new sponsors. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into this intro.
2 kids from Queens, cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never-before-seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
And this cannot happen can't even talk. This cannot happen without our very special sponsor. This is powered by ECAMM Live, the #1 all-in-one streaming platform that powers this whole episode, this whole podcast. And now they have a new feature called video isolation. So no matter how many people you have on your stream, on your pre-recorded video, it actually creates a video for each person. You have audio isolation. You have streaming to multi-channels such as Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all those social media platforms all at one time. If you want your 14-day trial, go to www.nickyandmoose.com/ECAMM, ECAMM, to claim that 14 free day trial. Moose, how are we feeling?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. Much needed a couple of days off. Really enjoyed it. Did a good amount of shopping for Black Friday. I'm not gonna lie, I did indulge. Yeah, I did indulge.
What did you buy? What did you buy?
Well, so I like to kind of reignite. No, I will. I like to reignite my energy from time to time by buying like new workout clothes. So believe it or not, that's something that gets me excited. When I get like new workout gear, I'm like, all of a sudden I feel like I'm going to a brand new gym as if so.
So you're one of those. So you're like
100%.
All of a sudden you feel like Superman.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, no workout gear? Yeah, no. The workout's automatically going to be good just because I just, right there. So,
all of a sudden you could lift heavier weights.
Yeah. So I got some, did some shopping at Nike. And then I got hooked. I've been noticing these like new puffer jackets. And I spent a good amount of time looking for like the right puffer jacket online, but I am so much more grateful
jacket?
to. Correct, yeah.
Okay,
bubble,
all right. I was like, is he not wanting to say bubble jacket? What's happening?
Yeah, no, it is.
Puffer,
I guess it is. Yeah.
Puffer jacket. Sounds more sophisticated. I like how you made that sound. Puffer jacket.
According to the product name, I'm just going with the official product title. So according to them, puffer jacket it was. But yeah, I don't know. I was like, I think I need like an everyday, and I'm gonna do the puffer as the bubble as the everyday.
Okay.
The everyday jacket, and so so that took a good amount of time to find it, but we did find it. So yeah, just kind of redoing the wardrobe. Now I don't know if you're like me, or if you do this too, but typically when I buy something new, I have to get rid of a lot of old stuff. So, no?
I'm trying to get, no, because I'm trying to get better with that though. I'm trying to get better with that. So I do have a lot of things that need to go to Goodwill. So I will say this, I've been getting better with when I and it's not because I have new stuff, it's because I need their hangers.
Okay.
It's the only reason.
That's hilarious. Like, hey, I will keep you, but
right. It's the only reason. It's not any other reason. If I wasn't so lazy to go get more hangers, I probably would keep it. But that is the only true reason why I'm getting rid of some of the stuff, because I need its hangers for sure.
Yeah. Nah, it's gonna be a big cleaning day for me tomorrow, because there's a lot of stuff that I was like, I just want new space. I don't know. I'm very picky like that, I guess. I get new stuff and I'm like, start chucking. Get out of here. Need new energy.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a vibe.
That's not bad. For me, yes, another year of Nipsey Hussle taking my money. I'm not sure. After 3 years of his death, he's still taking all my money. I'm very upset by this, actually, because the amount of money that I spent between, shout out to Lauren London. Lauren London dropped her collection a few weeks prior, right? Then, so I got 2 track suits and like 2 other suits from it. And then, so that was that was full price. Hello. And then, what was it? Now they had, at a certain time range, you could get it for 40% off, right? So, of course, Marathon Clothing had this lion hoodie that all of a sudden I needed, right? Mind you, I'm not struggling for hoodies. Struggling for hoodies. I get hoodies every 2 weeks or something. Shout out to God is Great. You know what I mean? They just gave me this hoodie. You feel me?
I love it.
So I'm not struggling with hoodies. However, I bought 2 more hoodies from Marathon and some Puma sneakers that said Hustle on it. And I don't even know if I'm going to wear it, really.
Right.
But like, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to spend on something else. And I didn't like anything else. So I didn't spend anything else. That was the only thing I liked.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not going, and what I refuse to do is go down the Amazon rabbit hole. I refuse to do that, right? So what I did was find deals for my audience and put it on my stories. Right here, look, this is some tripod. Yeah, tripod stuff. Cool. Everybody's like, yeah, thank you. But what I didn't do is like, what do I need? And let me see if they have deals, because I would have been like, oh, need this. It's like Walmart.
No,
Walmart and Target. You go in for cocoa butter, you end up spending $400. I'm not here for this at all.
Yeah. Speaking of Target, Nicky says I got to share more. So there was a fraudulent attempt to take a lot of money out of my account today. Let's just say that. What? Yeah. So I'm legit. I'm at my mom's house. I'm sitting with my aunt, Elsie. We're like just on the phone, whatever. And I get an email for like a checkout from Target. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, did you buy anything from Target? She's like, no. It's like, are you sure? So I open up the whatever, the thank you email, whatever, and it says like $618. I'm like, Target? Are you sure you didn't get it from Target? It's like, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's like, yo, are you sure you didn't get it from Target? So apparently somebody, I don't know what they did, they hacked my Target account because my credit card was saved there, attempted to buy a PS5 and have it, and they were gonna pick it up at a store in Chicago. So I'm like, what? No. So I call Amex, yo, cut that down, give me a new card, whatever, call Target, cancel the order, rechange the password. So it was safe, but you mentioned Target kind of triggered a nerve there. I just wanted to tell the people, make sure you're tracking your emails, because they gonna come. If there's ever a time for them to come, they gonna come in the holidays when people are feeling givey. Wow.
Shout out to American Express for the block. Yeah, I mean, shout out to American Express. But whoever tried to create fraud for Moose, we're watching you.
Yeah, we got you.
We're watching you.
We got you.
Yeah, I mean, But let's get into this episode. First and foremost, we got a new sponsor for the What's Poppin' section, okay? This segment is sponsored by Deeper Than the Brand. Talk about it, all right? The #1 content branding community that shows you how to confidently and authentically build a brand, grow a social media presence, and build digital wealth. Go to deeperthanthebrand.com for more information. So let's get into the What's Poppin' section, which this week on social media, a little bit different. We're going to talk about J-Lo, a.k.a. Jennifer Lopez, going dark. What does that mean, Nicky? So November 23rd, Jennifer Lopez, who has a guap of followers, I believe over 3 million. I believe that, right? Completely wiped out her whole social media account, turned her profile pic into black. And people were like, what's happening? What's going on? Especially the blogs and all that great stuff, because, you know, they're instantly going to think about, oh my God, what about Ben? All that great stuff, right? But it is very confusing when somebody with such a high amount of influence and following just goes completely dark. Well, it was on purpose and done very uniquely. I don't know if I would do this, but she then announced on the 25th, right? This is me first, then, right? Which is celebrating the 20th anniversary. Okay. It was one of her past albums. This is me then. And that got released on Apple Music, everywhere, all streaming situations. But then on her Instagram, she showed a promo of it, collabed with Apple Music, and then showed This Is Me Now, which is now going to be a musical experience coming out in 2023, and gave like a track listing. So I'm bringing this up because I think this is a really unique way of getting people's attention when people are looking at you. Don't think, people, you can do this right now. This is when you have a bit of influence and people are checking for you, that they notice that everything is wiped out. And then there's a rollout situation where it's like, oh, snap. On the 23rd went black, 25th, there's only one post and an updated profile of the This Is Me Now profile pic. And that's all you see. That's the only concentration, where we're going to look at the 20th anniversary edition, go stream it, but then also have some kind of hype about what's happening for the new year. I think that's genius, right? I think that was very bold for Jennifer Lopez team to just get rid of everything. Now, I hope they archived everything. They didn't just delete everything. Let's hope for that. And maybe it'll pop back up. Maybe it won't. But these are different ways to just write down as far as rollouts for your products and services. How can I make a big splash? How can I get people's attention? Because that's all it really was. How do I get people's attention to see what my next move is? Because, of course, when she did that, people are now going to her profile over and over again to see if there's any type of update. What is wrong? What's going on? Why is it black? When it's black, it's normally a huge movement. What's going on? And to see that, that's just an attention grab. Are we being strategic with our releases? Are we being strategic as far as getting people's attention? And so shout out to J-Lo for that mini release. Congratulations on the 20th anniversary of your album. I think it was genius.
Smart.
Very
smart. Yeah. I looked her up while you were, breaking that down. 227 million followers.
Oh, God, I said 3. God, I'm so sorry, J-Lo. Good God. Man. Golly.
Dang. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's a disgusting amount.
Who's the dude, the soccer dude who
Cristiano Ronaldo.
There you go. He reached 500 mil.
Bro, you talking about like a good, like half of, I can imagine that's like a whole couple of countries, like every person in the country. Like if you were just to add them up, I'm sure there's a couple of countries' population is not even 500 million.
Right.
Yeah, because you know what? Egypt, I think they said Egypt is about 90 million. The entire country, 90 million people. So that's bananas. Yeah, that is bananas when you get to 500.
All right. Well,
God bless them.
Shout out to those who have over 100 million and more. Golly.
Facts. Yeah, no, that's a big deal. Well, let's switch gears, man. Going into the business section here on the What's Poppin' piece of it all. I found this piece to be really interesting, man. It was kind of like how Cyber Monday came to be, right? Eventually, it actually ended up surpassing Black Friday. And in a way, it was a mistake mixed with genius marketing. So in the early 2000s, a gentleman by the name of Dan Hess, he worked for a data company, and he was working with advertisers to give them analysis and just numbers on how Black Friday was doing. And so as they were analyzing the data, they started to see a pattern that, yes, consumers obviously spend a good amount of money on Black Friday, but they found something interesting in the early 2000s. They started to see that there was even a higher uptick in spending through the weekend and specifically on Monday. And so this was right around the recession in 2008 or so. So it officially became a thing in 2005 as advertisers and marketers got a hold of this pattern and this trend. And of course, the internet started to improve. They started to really push this to be a thing, right? Like something that people can partake in. And of course, as that happens, other retailers jump on. You got Walmart to want to be one of the first people to jump onto Cyber Monday. And of course, everybody else started to want to join into it. So it's kind of crazy. And I think a lot of us, for our businesses, you got to imagine there's so many lessons packed into this mistake, but it shows you how you can really ride the momentum and make something out of nothing when you're paying attention more specifically to the data. We always say, you got to know your numbers, but imagine had this gentleman not, been paying attention or pretty much overlooked it as like, okay, it's important, but not that important. You miss out on what is known to be the biggest sale day of the year. So it surpassed Black Friday by a landslide, but it happened because of paying attention to the data. The second thing I like is, of course, how advertisers and marketers can get behind something, and whether there is a need or there isn't a need, they can use the right almost interest and tie the right verbiage. We talked about that, before we jumped on. Use the right verbiage to a situation to bring a lot more attraction to it so that people want to partake and continue to be a part of it, right? Or at least join into it. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, man, you would think that Cyber Monday was this strategic development of putting all of these different layers together. Nope. Just like, oh man, this is interesting. Why don't we? And before you know it, they used it as something to help them stay alive during the recession or stay competitive during the recession. And of course, years later, there's an expected spend on just these 72 hours of close to $20 billion in the US alone. And so it just shows you, man, pay attention to your numbers, obviously get behind them so that consumers can want to partake in this and be interested in it. And there you have it. It's how Cyber Monday came to be.
That's crazy. I know for
Thanks,
me.
Dan.
Yeah. I always wonder who has the better deals, Black Friday or Cyber Monday. That's always my question. Like one of shout out to Eva. Eva was like, okay, I have my cart totally full of equipment. Do I buy it for Black Friday or Cyber Monday? I said, that is a very good question. Can't tell you. Very good question.
Yeah, I don't know that I have proof for this, but I always thought that tech products have better deals on Cyber Monday because it's shopped online. But then again, it's like, I don't know. I don't know that it actually even really makes any real sense because everything is, shopped online for the most part. I mean, I did a good portion of it online.
But then it makes me remember those TV deals on Black Friday. Like,
yes,
if you still go, you have to get incentivized to go. So you get like a 70, 80 inch for like $200 if you're like the first 100 people, right?
Crazy.
I'm not going to do that, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. No, shout out, man. There's a one Instagram account that I follow. It's hilarious. If you're in New York, you got to follow them. You're in New York, man. You should know.
Oh yes.
Just by the name of it. But they posted something like Black Friday ain't it because I expect it to be like 95% off. And I'm like, yo, that's real. There was a time when Black Friday, that was the kind of expectation. It's like 70 and 80 and 90% almost. But now it's, it ain't like the good old days. So Cyber Monday, we on you right now.
We love Cyber Monday. You know what I mean? But let's get into things you could have lived without. Okay, so we got 3 new things you could have lived without. First one, Drake buying DJ Khaled 4 new smart toilets. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? Like,
I did not, but when I read it, I was like,
it was a whole post.
I can only imagine what the insider behind that has to be.
No, it was a whole post. I was like, this is, so from a consumer standpoint, I was like, this is pointless. Why do I care about rich people buying rich toilets, right? Like, why are we making this? Drake just bought me 4 new toilets. Tell him what it does. It cleans with LEDs and it sprinkles. Like, I'm not here for this.
Oh, God.
Lights up when it's dark and certain, when the sun sets. I don't care, right? However, now I bet, of course, that could have been a strategic move where now people are going to look into that brand and want to have a smart toilet because Drake gave it to Khaled. So I understand that, but me personally, did not understand why I watched the whole post about Drake giving Khaled 4 new toilets. I think we're reaching here, but whatever. The second part, y'all still eating leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner 4 to 5 days after Thanksgiving or when you cooked your meal, okay? I'm good on that. All right, this is me. I'm good on that. But I'm not a big leftovers person anyways, but I think 4 to 5 days is crazy. This is me. And then last...
hanging on.
Yeah. Last but not least, and this could be a little controversial. I don't care. Ugly sweater season, okay? The Christmas ugly sweater season. Could you live without it? So this section is 1, 4 smart toilets that Drake gave Khaled. Leftovers that are 4 to 5 days old, or ugly Christmas sweaters. You let us know. Drop in the comments. Let us know what needs to go, what you could have lived without. And let's get into this blueprint section. So Moose gave me this really dope clip from Forbes, I think from the CMO of TikTok, right?
Correct, yeah.
That. And we spoke about it. Damien, shout out to Damien, kind of hinted this as far as the importance of community when it comes to brands. We've spoken about the importance of it. But when TikTok speaks, hello, we must listen. So let's see what this is about.
Brands are no longer kind of this thing on a shelf. Brands are expected to really be one with the community. And that's going to be challenging for us because we have lots of legal hurdles, and we feel very safe in our brand guideline box. And that is no more. We have to figure out how to engage more rapidly and how to really connect authentically with people.
So good. You know, when I first came across this post, the first thing that came to mind was, you know, going back to what you said, of course, with Damien, but something that you're really a big, I would say almost an avid person who rallies behind this concept of community, because it clicked for me. I said, man, if a company like TikTok is starting to openly talk about this kind of messaging, then for us as personal brands, business owners, or creative entrepreneurs, we should immediately start to pay attention to the importance of community and not just putting out a brand, right? Like the competitive advantage in today's brand economy is community. You have to pay attention to what is happening in the market around you, especially when any and everybody is now gaining the confidence to turn that camera on, and they recognize that their voice, their talent, their looks, their skill set can really translate into dollars online. And it's a desire that a lot of the younger generation have to be. I think there was some research that said almost half of the younger generation want to be influencers or doing something online in some shape or form. I mean, they pretty much grew up on the internet. So you have to imagine that this is now a generation that is very comfortable and for the most part have the skill set necessary to showcase what they can do utilizing public platforms. So you have to think as someone in this space, especially if you've been here for a while or you're thinking about just getting in, you got to know that when there is more supply, competition becomes more fierce, right? Because there is more of us fighting for less space. And I say that in, you know, obviously in a strategic way. But when I think about it like that from a business standpoint, immediately you got to think about, well, what's going to be different about me? What can I do different than everybody else in the marketplace so that I can have, of course, my unique almost abilities or the things that make me stand out amongst everyone else in the marketplace. And right now, I'm really starting to see more and more, and this was really the icing on the cake, that look no further, community has to be a part of something that you're doing going into 2023, or you will get left behind. That's just the way I look at it. It's like, this is something to pay attention to now for real.
Yeah, people come first. I've been really big on these past couple of days, I'll say maybe 2 weeks, not too crazy, about how do you stand out as a brand, right? And there's 3 things that will make you stand out, which is community, experience, and product. And I say product last because if you could really get the locked in as far as community and experience, we've seen over and over again mediocre products continuously be sold out, be oversubscribed, super in demand. Like we've spoken about it in the after show as far as Rolex. Rolex is not the best watch out there, but because of the experience you get and the community that backs Rolex, now this some would fight me to say mediocre product compared to some that is out there is always sold out. You can't find it anywhere. You have to wait for 2 to 3 months to get yours in certain locations, and if other locations, it's way longer. So if we put people first, they put us first. That's how you got to look at things. The more that you cater to your people and give them a different experience and make them feel safe and make them feel seen, they're going to stay loyal and continue to buy from you, where it's harder to always get a new customer over and over again, a new client over and over again, even to get a new follower, right? The way that social media has been acting with these algorithms, it's even harder to do that. So instead of chasing the newest thing, why don't we just create a strong community within our brand that we know, AKA Apple, right? That no matter what we drop, there are going to be people who are championing it, people who are going to be ready to buy it, people who are going to be ready to watch it. There's thousands of people who sit and wait for the new Apple keynote. Even though blogs may be already leaking what can be said in these different Apple events, people continuously wait and watch it on the Apple website, YouTube, Twitter, doesn't even matter. People are watching just so they could be a part of this particular event to then figure out, what am I going to buy? When am I going to be able to buy it? How much is it? I don't care how much it is. They have a payment plan? Great. Are we, as brands, creating strong communities? And in 2023, and further, depending on when you're listening and watching this, we have to concentrate on community, experience, and product to stand out. If we can take care of those three things, our brand is super bulletproof. No one can tell you nothing. People will defend you. People will continuously share what you have based off social media, social proof, right? Whether it is articles, whether it's people talking about you in rooms that you're not in. And then, of course, people using your product over and over again proudly. So, yes, whether you're a personal brand, whether you have a product or a service, it doesn't matter. Community is super, 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 super important. Whether it's a free community, whether it's a paid community, whatever it is, concentrate this year, concentrate in these next couple of months, building a strong community so your brand can last longer than you.
There it is. I like that.
I mean, now, I saw this. Well, I found the clip and Moose found the clip. And together, it literally speaks about the whole content creator economy blueprint, right? What's my man's name, Moose?
Rob Deerdeck.
There we go. He was on the Paul's Brothers podcast, right? Was it Logan? It's Logan. I always get them confused. Jake is the boxer. Logan is the super influencer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Logan is the super influencer, right? With creators becoming way more popular nowadays, to the point where kids are literally saying that is one of the most demanded jobs they want to be. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a TikToker, right? You have to understand how the creator economy works. And it's not just I put out content and I make money from these platforms, or I put out content and I even get brand deals. There's so much more to it now that when we saw these two clips, I was like, oh yeah, we got to bring this together because it totally lays it out. So definitely take out your pen and pad on this one, because you need to follow each and every single step that this is about to say. So let's just go into it.
Looked at everything through the business lens. So I was always looking at, like, how do I maximize this opportunity, whether it was the Fantasy Factory platform, even during Rob and Big Days. How do I further this even further and maximize this? And that's what led to creating Fantasy Factory as the concept around having the brands that I could now do brand deals. 'Cause you gotta think, I did Chevy deals, Microsoft deals, Carl's Jr. deals. I just did all these mega deals and integrated it into that show So I was making millions. Then I was like making millions off of all my product and board sales and all of that stuff, like by seeing it through a business lens ahead of time.
We have, as internet creators, have gone through a very similar evolution where it went from merch, then big brand deals, now IP building and exits, right? You're seeing the kind of a very similar evolution that we saw on the platforms of earlier days.
It started with merch. Channels would slap their logo on a shirt or hat or sticker and sell it. Some people bought these, but often just the most devoted fans. Creators adapted their merchandise more into clothing lines. Logan Paul, for example, runs Maverick Clothing. With clothing brands competing against other clothing brands, this operates more like a business than merchandise, so creators often find this strategy far more effective and sometimes competitive in performance versus an outside sponsor. Logan Paul claimed his brand made between $30 and $40 million in its first year, while our channel might expect to profit around the same $11.2 thousand from promoting its clothing brand as with an outside sponsor. Taking this to the next level, the predominant trend of the past few years has been creators launching fully fledged businesses. Mr. Beast started selling burgers cooked by ghost kitchens on food delivery apps under the Mr. Beast Burger brand, which has since expanded to over 1,000 locations in the US, Canada, UK, and UAE. Across the board, what creators have found is that not only do they get to keep more of those 3 cents per view, but also that a given viewer is more likely to convert into a paying customer when the sponsorship is presented as promoting their own business rather than the highest bidder.
Wow.
See why I said what I said?
Wow.
Mind you, people, I didn't show the full mashup to Moose beforehand. I just showed him the 2 clips, but not it together. He didn't see the full vision. We normally do like this pre-show, and I didn't even show it.
I might need to go back and listen to that again. That's a lot. Y'all need to go back and listen to that. That's a lot. That's a lot. You saw the breakdown of 30 million compared to about 11,000 from sponsorship rev. That's bananas. Goodness. Yeah. Wow.
No, and
sorry.
No, you're good. That's the point. Like it's so much bigger than merch, and it's crazy. I forgot who told me about the whole difference between like merch and fashion line, and this is what stops a lot of people. But thinking of it now of, okay, you get merch, you probably can make maybe an extra 1,000 in that particular video compared to how much, and not saying everybody's going to get that same amount that Logan did, but compared to the unlimited potential of it being a fashion line. Now I'm like, I hit up Isaiah so quick, like, hello, we gotta rethink certain things, right? Because I had, all right, you know what, let's come out with the merch. And I think for this podcast, we still will, but I think overall, I have this name, I'm not gonna say it. Normally I'm transparent, I say it, but I'm not. I have this name that I'm like, yo, we may want to look more into it. But then even later on in that particular video that I showed at the end, they were breaking down all the other creators as far as, with the Happy Dad and the seltzer drink that everybody you see on Pivot and everybody, all these podcasts be drinking. You know, they have a gold calendar. They have a streaming service somewhere. Like, creators are creating businesses that they can scale and then sell. That's where we heard in a couple of months ago where somebody had offered $1 billion to Mr. Beast for his channel and all the businesses that are associated with it. Because now content creators are thinking of it of, let me create a business and sell it based off my influence, based off a bit of it from my name. And how are we making the most of our influence and of our content? And we shouldn't only settle on brand sponsorships. That's cool, but that could leave at any moment. There's no control with that, right? Even to why we even said deeper than the brand, and then our next sponsor is going to be the flight assessment. You'll hear about that later. But being sure that we take the platforms that we are creating and leveraging our own brands and not depending so much on others, because it increases our value. It increases how much we are worth. Because if they see that we're selling this and we're selling that, Mr. Beast has candy, burgers, other people have whole fashion lines, other people have apps and softwares and influencer agencies and things like that. Why are we only okay, or our first thought of content creators is just, let me make money from the social media platforms and let me make money off of brand deals? It's so much bigger. And I'm not saying that's not important. That is all the way important. That is the beginning concept of content creator. This is how you can see that you can make money in it. But now that we're building legacy, now that we're building empires as content creators, which wasn't something that we could have done before, that changes the whole game. And there's different creators that are showing that this blueprint is possible. And they're going in different markets. They start with one, the whole part of niching down. You start with one, build the trust, to now, why is Mr. Beast doing burgers? Because he can. Mm-hmm. You know, why do certain people, Logan and KSI making a competitor to Gatorade? Because they can. Because there are outsiders that see their influence, want to collaborate, equity, or completely give it up. And now it was started as a YouTube channel, was started as an Instagram page, a TikTok page, is now a complete empire. We got to put respect on content creators. We got to put respect on the platforms we're building, because that's just the beginning part of what can truly make our name last for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that's so good, man. And I think you're starting to see almost the pattern that we're flowing in, or at least that we're discovering over the last couple of episodes as well. If you remember 1 or 2 weeks ago, we talked about know the business that you're in. You got to know the game. You can't just be excited to be partaking in the activity and in the action. You have to understand the business of it. So as I mentioned, go back and play back, or go and listen to that part again. But literally in the beginning, he says, I studied the business of everything I was a part of and what I was doing. You have to know. You know, in that same interview, he mentions how I think it's America's Funniest Videos or something like that. And the founder and creator of that, $500 million game. And I would have never thought about it. I never thought about it that way. And I consumed a lot of their stuff. Like I've definitely been a fan of it because I thought it was a really funny thing. But when you think about it, that's also another concept of repurposing other people's content in the old game, in internet, I guess what they would call Web 1.0, or even pre that, where it was send in your videos, let me really produce the entire show and put it out on TV. I'll invest it, and you're signing away. You know, he was saying that you got to sign that video away for 30 years. Yeah. But know the business. As a consumer, you're often looking to just be entertained, and you don't think about these other elements that go behind the scenes. And so I thought it was really interesting that there is a business in everything that we see. It's not always just, oh, cool, fun, I like it. All right, next. There's something happening. So I like that idea. Start by looking to understand the business and ask questions. Man, I wonder what's really happening here, or how did this come to be? And what can I learn from it and apply into what I'm doing with my own brand or business? And what's the synergy or the alignment or what's similar here? The second piece of it, which is also really cool, it's almost the new age vertical integration. Right? Nipsey was a big fan of this. He always talked about vertically integrating the business, which is simply just making sure you own every step and try to cut out the middleman. So if you have a clothing brand, well, you want to own the factory. You want to own the print shop, right? You eventually want to start to own it from start to finish so that you are profiting along the way, right? Like you're not losing all of your margins to having to outsource so many pieces of it. But what you're seeing here on the internet or through the creator era is this is what vertical integration looks like through creators. It's, hey, instead of me just partnering with another brand and wearing their clothes and selling it to my audience, why don't I start my own clothing line? And you're starting to create these other products where you see good market fit. And now you're vertically integrated, you're establishing new businesses all under the common thing, which is utilizing the influence, as you mentioned, or at least that's what it all dates back to. So really cool lessons, man, just to extract from this. Know the business of what you're a part of, or at least get in the habit of studying the business of what you're seeing so that you can start to pick up on those trends and those patterns. And then it's cool to see it like, yo, vertical integration is now happening within the creator and internet era, and this is how it's done. Launch your own stuff in a sense. So really, really cool.
That's facts. Now, how he broke down how it's like, yo, even from how he integrated the sponsorships. I don't know if you've ever watched like Ridiculousness in any of his shows, but yeah. In Ridiculousness, he said, yo, we got a brand deal with Microsoft and the search engine Bing. And so at the end, they would look up videos and use the Bing search engine. And that's what he means by integrated with so it's not just saying, hey, this is sponsored by like how we do. He literally has it inside as if it is part of the show. And so that's why brands were like, yo, we need to be a part of that, because now you're incorporating it and making it seem natural, and everybody's going to be wanting to do that. So I think that was a smart thing that Rob did, that I'm even looking at like, how do you make that possible? Like, even there was this brand deal I did with Mighty Networks and put it a part of my content instead of saying, hey, Mighty Networks is this. It's like, hey, I'm talking about community and all the different ways why you need to build a community. Here's a resource, Mighty Networks, boom, 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 to the point where now they're like, hey,
that's what comes to mind.
Need to work with you again, because that was very effective, because people are not feeling sold to. No problem. Let's talk about it again. You feel me? So y'all need to listen to that over and over again. Get that kind of like embedded in your head. The content. I keep saying content. I'm so embedded in my head with content. Creator Economy Blueprint. That's what we call in this this episode as well. That's good. But let's talk about like our little, little different perspectives. I wouldn't say battle, but different perspectives of things with our segment, This or That. And of course, this segment is sponsored by the Flight Assessment. FlightAssessment.com. Discover your personal superpower and learn how to use your superpower to become a master communicator, strengthen all your relationships, and develop the self-awareness you need to fulfill your highest potential. So go to FlightAssessment.com. You feel me? Now, for This or That, we are talking about people copying your ideas and what to do about it. Like, do you care? Do you not? Should we leave it alone? Should we make a big stink out of it? And so I was scrolling on Instagram, as I do, right? And shout out to Sierra Nicole, who gave a different perspective of what to do when people copy your ideas. And I was like, oh, I had a whole other This or That, by the way, that we'll go over maybe another time. But this one, yeah, let's, I want your perspective on this.
I am pissed. Like, I'm pissed right now. I have spent years, guys, I have literally spent years perfecting my business credit and funding course, okay? Years, since 2019, trying to create the best program to help people get funding. And you know what someone does? You know what they do? They steal your course and they sell it as their own. That's the very thing that you've been working hard for. And so, you know what? Instead of getting mad, coming on here, ranting, and getting upset about it, what I decided to do is let everybody sell it. I'm going to let everybody steal it and sell it. On Monday, every member of my Modern Wealth Academy, okay, that's my membership group, my community, they are going to get a white labeled version, meaning it has no logos on it. I took my name, my face, my voice off of the course, the business credit and funding course, the same course that has made me about 6 figures alone for that one product this year. I'm going to give it to them. Literally a white labeled version of my course, and every member is going to be able to sell it as their own.
So Moose, is that smart? Is that being proactive? I want to hear your version first of what are your thoughts on when somebody copies and her route of combating it.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. And I definitely didn't see that coming. Even just watching it now, you would think, oh, okay, listen, I'm very upset. Somebody just stole my stuff that I've been working 3-4 years to develop. But the only thing I can keep seeing in my mind is when Kanye just said, gotcha. It's like that's the only thing that's kept in my mind. It's like, oh, don't get bitter, get better. So I do like that idea of anytime you can find an opportunity to not just fold, but find whatever it is within you to get better, take it. Take that opportunity. So I like it because at the end of the day, we as creators or whatever the case may be, and we talked about this on the live some time back, you have to continue to reinvent yourself. It's about being innovative. We don't settle for the same products, especially if they stay the same, right? We get in the habit of wanting something new. So I think, and I don't know much about her brand. I'm definitely going to look into her a little bit more. But it's really cool. I don't know. I dig it. I'm gonna just say that in short. I dig it. I like the idea of saying, you know what? Let me turn this into a business, white label this thing, and bring you on as pretty much partners or affiliates to help me push it even further out. And who knows? Maybe instead of making 6 figures, I can make multiple 6 figures or heck, maybe even 7 figures by getting so many more people to push it. Because what if you introduced me to a business model that I was overlooking? Maybe I didn't know that it was so good that it had this much demand that heck, you're willing to take it and do that with it. And so can we enter a partnership and you are now one of my affiliates to go ahead and push my product in the marketplace, even if it's with your name on it? I think it's brilliant. I like it. Okay.
All right. I'm with that. For me, I would definitely say that you have to understand the goal for you to do something like that. Right? So what do I mean by that? One of her goals is to help people make money. So of course you start off with a course to give the blueprint of how you made money or how you've helped other people make money. And they take the course and they do that blueprint and then they make money. So she took it a step further of not only am I going to teach you how to make money, then I'm going to actually give you the tool to make money. So now here, do exactly what I do. Right? Now I'm not in her course to understand if it literally speaks on how to become that, like how to become now from the student to the teacher, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm only going to assume that the goal is I want to teach people how to make money. And so you have to look when you're going to make decisions like that. What is the goal before you look at this concept and be like, I'm going to do the same thing. And then it doesn't hit because one, people may not be interested in doing that. Two, you know, as far as that just isn't the goal. It goes completely opposite of what you should be doing. For her, I think it's genius because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to make people money. So if I already know that people are taking my idea and taking my course and making money, making another course, having another idea isn't going to be a problem. And I actually DM'd her like, yo, I think this was fire because as creators, we never run low of ideas. And if people are going to take what we have and make money from it, please do. I'll package it for you. I'll package it and put it in a bow. There you go. Make money because I can make more in another idea. You just actually released me from spending any more energy on this one. And I can now put extra energy on a brand new one that's going to make me more. So, plus create a new stream of revenue with this one. Because now it has two. Now, not only do you probably buy the course, then you could buy the membership that will allow you access to sell it in probably all the different ways that I've sold it. Because it's a guarantee over 6-figure product. I think it's genius. I think we have to look at, for one, people are always going to try to copy us. When we are good, when we're really good, or even just mediocre sometimes, people are going to take what they heard, what they see, what they buy, right? And they're going to flip it. Instantly, they're going to flip it. Now, granted, this is not a huge percentage, so I don't want people to feel scared as far as like, yo, okay, this is why I don't go out with anything because they're just going to take it. It is a small percentage of people who will. Is it discouraging a bit? Yeah, but it's a small percentage because you want to know why? Because I'm one of those people that will take information and I will flip it. But I don't know many other people who could do that. That's what I'm saying. It's a small percentage of people who are literally buying the stuff just to learn how to do it. Other people are just literally learning to follow the same blueprint, not to learn how you do it so I can do this for myself as far as have my own audience, have this, how that. Like that's a small percentage who does that. Now, what we have to feel confident in is that I could do this again. I could do this again. I could, I'm on this platform. Now everybody else is on this platform. That's okay. I can do it again. Yo, I created this course. Now everybody's doing this course. Yo, I created this kind of shirt. I used this type of material. Everybody's using this material. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that now. That means it worked. Now what else are you going to do? Are you going to be a one-hit wonder? Or are you going to create and create more and have a lasting brand? Because your one idea shouldn't carry your whole brand. It shouldn't. It should put a dent in it. Absolutely. It should be a great start to it or enough to get your name out there. Absolutely. It shouldn't carry it for years. Absolutely not. Yeah. You know, so I think this is genius. Shout out to her. For those people who are in that position to do that, where you can white label something, because people do want that same exact software, same exact product line, same exact course. Like people want what you have. It's about how do you enable them that will still work out for you? How do you still get money from it? How do you still get equity from it? How do you still get the percentage? How do you still get credited for that? That's kind of what you have to think about before you just go, oh, they said white label it here, take it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think too, you definitely, no ego is involved in this process, right? Because if you notice, if you have such a strong attachment to what you're creating, then it may be very difficult for you to do that, because maybe your worth, your value, your self-esteem, I don't know, could be tied to the product. And so you're so offended or so hurt that someone did that to you, then you begin to feel betrayed, offended. And by the way, you all, by all right, you should feel that, right? I would understand even if you do feel that. But I think that there's a level of selflessness, because like you said, it goes back to the goal and the objective of why you originally started this. And so while everyone may not be as creative as you or as resourceful, at least right now in their journey, that was the only idea they came up with. It's like, hey, why, instead of creating my own thing, let's just take this right here. Now, I wish they would have went about it a different way. But real quick, can you maybe talk about how to build a separation between what you create and yourself, right? Like how to disconnect and not have such a strong attachment to the things that you're building. Because, when things like that happen, I would hate to see somebody just completely lose it because all of their value and worth was tied into that.
Yeah, once again, it goes back to what is the goal, right? Like for me, like my goal is to make sure that everybody, regardless of following, regardless of environment, background, whatever, feels comfortable enough to put themselves out there through content, right? Now, I may have with Deeper Than the Brand, I may have a great community, and then somebody, the people who are in there steals that same concept, right? Now, like 4 or 5 people are coming out with content branding communities. Okay, cool. My goal is to make sure people feel comfortable creating content. I'm creating monsters of content creators that didn't think that they were content creators, and now they're becoming other people to teach other people to create content. My job is, the goal is still being done. Now, how do I think bigger of, okay, boom, check, that works. Now it's time to think bigger of how do we make that even a bigger goal. Maybe now it's not just these particular individuals. Have we then gone into more of how we get the youth to do it? Have we then created different places around the world in where there's a location where you feel safe? Like there's more to just that one idea. But did the idea hit the goal? Cool. Now enable those other people to fulfill your goal so you can think on bigger things. So I never get attached to an idea, because an idea and a product and a service that comes out of that idea are going to go through multiple waves. Mm-hmm. I'll be a mental breakdown if I go, okay, I am so attached to this. I love this. This is great. This is my one and only. And then it does trash for a whole year or so. And now I'm all depressed. Mm-hmm. And then it goes back up and I'm like on a false high.
Yeah.
And then it goes down again. It's the same thing, right? So I as much as I put love and care into a particular product or service and it has all of me, there is still a detachment, because what has all of me is the goal.
That's
not
so good.
The product, the service, the event. It is the goal that has all of me. Now, when that goes away, then maybe I'll be an emotional wreck. You feel me?
Come on. Bars.
I mean,
that's good.
So people, comment what you think. What would you do if your idea got stolen? People were taking it, making profit from it. What would you do? Would you be that disciplined? Would you be that, disconnected and just going straight with the goal? Or would you be like, nah, I'm fighting everybody who stole my, like I'm making an awareness of it. I'm making a campaign out of it. Let us know in the comments. And then of course, with the other sections as well, blueprint, what you could have lived without, and then the What's Poppin' section. Let us know your feedback. We read them. Shout out to the person who says that Moose looks like an exact baseball player. That was a classic comment.
Best compliment I've got on this podcast, man. I appreciate that.
Yes. We appreciate you. That was fire. Follow us everywhere at Nicky and Moose. Shout out to all our listeners. Shout out to all our viewers. Moose, final words.
Yeah, short and simple this week, man. Uncommunicated expectations is a setup for disappointment. So if you're going to make plans that include other people, make sure you let them know about it.